Hey, it's Mike with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Tuesday. It's August 10th. This will be our chart lesson for today, and really this is just a range day. We traded outside the overnight highs and lows, but we still never got outside the high of the day or the low of the day, so we traded within that. So this is really a range day, and really the way you had to trade it was you had a trend up, a trend down, trend up, and then another trend down. I didn't color this one, but we'll go ahead and color it. Let's just make it blue again, I guess. But you can clearly see the up, down, and all within the highs and the lows of the day. So let's just put this on here and see what it looks like. Looks like we didn't quite get back up there on this high right here. So but that's kind of what it looks like, and you can see there's a midline in there. You can see prices playing both sides of it. So but again, I think your best play, it's a spiking channel up, and look like we might trend up today, but no can do. It turns down, comes back down, get a break, move to a new low that we test multiple times, and we get a another channel up, break, new high, and then now we got one working down. And there was actually a shorter term one in here for a few minutes as well. Put it on there as well. And there's a couple of other shorter term ones in here. But let's zoom in and talk about the trades. And there's not a lot of them today, so this won't take long. 7 o'clock came, it just through all this sideways stuff right here. I mean, really, we were going sideways from 2 something to right, just right prior to the open, really. Okay, we had a little interruption there, but I think we were just starting to talk about the trades, and we were just really working sideways there for hours until the 8:30 open. And right before the open, we broke higher and then came back down and kind of set this trend channel right here, this trend line. Notice we tested it once, then we come back twice, and there's actually a first entry, second entry. I like that second entry off the EMA, first pullback. Notice that little yellow channel. At that point, you're just kind of playing this yellow channel, and you get a break with a two-legged correction. A lot of times, that's the center of the pattern. So what you'll want to do, there's a couple of different ways. I would measure the whole leg first, and then look for the center of the pattern. And you can see we didn't quite get that, but I'd also measured this leg and then look for a measured leg here first as well. And you can see that's about where we got. Then we pushed higher trying to make that second, but we got really close, but we just couldn't quite get there. But I would have been looking for those legs, so especially with that two-legged correction. But there's second entry long right there. Notice the new high, pull back, first entry, pull back, and then when we broke higher right here, that's a second entry long. And it actually turned down and gives you a chance for a higher low. And if you didn't enter here, definitely enter here. There's actually a failed second entry short here, but it just looks too congested by that time, and you're right back into the highs. I wanted to take that trade, talk myself out of it because of the congestion. And, you know, looking back on it, you wish you'd have taken it. But at the time, you know, that's the right call because it's clearly three bars side by 2 inside bars on this big large bar, so there's a good chance it breaks higher and fails, or it just keeps going sideways. But it pushes on up, and you really just don't get another entry. You're getting too far away from the EMA for too long. And of course, we turn down off the top. You try to go higher once, you try to go higher twice, and you get this double test up here of the resistance area. It breaks higher, turns down. You could enter on the engulfing bar, but I'm telling you, I see so many traders with losing trades and they're on engulfing bars. They're very tricky. You need to be a very good chart reader. It's kind of like failures. If you're not a really skilled chart reader, just don't mess with them because you're just going to mess yourself up is what you're going to do, and you're going to have a lot of losers. People don't listen to me and they do it anyway, and then they want to know why they had a loser, but that's why. So, you know, stay clear of those things. But you get a lower high here. I'm not as crazy about entering right in here below this bar. So what you might do is let it break lower and drop a limit order a little further back and see if you can get a little better feel if you didn't enter on the engulfing bar. But again, if you're not a real skilled chart reader, I wouldn't mess with engulfing bars. But you come down here and you get a second entry short. I've noted this just so I wouldn't forget to talk about it. You can't enter with that signal bar on my chart. If you had a good signal bar right there, by all means take that second entry short. And again, that's likely the center of the pattern. So get your measured move. And again, we came up a little bit short, but you'd also probably measure it from right here, and we came up short on that too. But you can still clearly see we had one leg down, then we had another couple of legs down, and we just found support there. We couldn't get through it. So, but we drop on down, first entry, and then this breaks higher. So when this turns lower, this is actually a second entry short, and that's a big bearish bar. It's the first break of this channel. That's a nice entry right there. You don't get a big runner, but you get to ride that to a new low, and then we're just kind of chopping sideways. There's a failed second entry short here, but that's not a reversal pattern. Doesn't set up very good. And there's actually a first entry, and then when it breaks higher, here's a second entry, and you could treat that like a little failed break lower, but that is very congestive. I just can't justify going long into that EMA with all that congestion. Again, there are inside bars there. There is a trap here, though, a little bit. If it would have made a completely new low, maybe I would have liked it better, especially with the room back to the EMA. But I just think you got to skip that trade. And of course, you get a higher low here. But I'd want to wait on the second entry or a failed second entry short that gives you a reversal, and you just never get it, and you're off to the races back to the highs. But notice the break outside, convincing close outside, move to a new high, and you get that little push up right there above that little two-bar matching high. That's a great place to go short. And again, you could enter this. Excuse me, my throat's a little scratchy today. But I don't know if you can notice it or not, but I'm just having a little bit of a scratchy throat here, so I apologize for coughing on you there. But anyway, we break higher, turn down. I like going short there. There's a lower high here, but it's right into the EMA, another doji, it's inside. There's 3 bars there. You can't take that trade. And look what happens. You start going sideways. And I had a couple different people send me emails about entering in a trade right in here and wondering, you know, what should I do? Should I stay with it or scratch it or whatever? And you got to be careful with that congestion, because this is what will happen to you, especially lately, the way how slow the market is. We do break lower out of this little trading range, so you got a leg down, sideways, and another leg down. That's a big bullish reversal type bar, so you may ride that back to the EMA. It ends up going much further, actually all the way back to the highs, and then it breaks out the highs and fails. So as long as you got room back to here, you may take that trade. Of course, it drops on down, gives you a nice move. And then we come back, and you actually try to go higher again. Only problem is that's too congestive to enter. But then you make this lower high right here and another big bearish bar. I like going short right there. And I really thought we might get a nice move down, but we just kind of worked sideways and then down. So, and this one is a little congestive, but it's off that key entry point, and we've been turning down off of it multiple times. And this is basically a triple test up here as well. I think I forgot to talk about that, but it's a lower high, but it's also a triple test. But then we try to go higher once, twice, so it's a failed second entry long. Although it's a little congested, I still like going short underneath that big bearish bar. I would have taken it on that one if it would have broke lower, but it didn't break lower to this one. And of course, it's an engulfing bar, so you still could have gone short there, but you're better off to wait on this bar. And of course, it drops on down. You get a break, and we just kind of go sideways into the 3 o'clock. So not a lot of trades today. The market's still slow. It's You know, it's kind of up and down. I did want to show you the daily chart real quick since we got a few. Okay, here's our daily chart. Notice that we broke out yesterday, pulled back and tested. Looked like we may go higher, and we're just kind of going sideways. So we may end up failing and coming back in to the range again. But if it keeps acting as support where it was resistance right across here, we could push higher yet. And if we did, I'd probably look for a measured move, which puts us up here at around 44.60. So that could be where we're pushing towards if this continues to hold as support. If not, it gets back inside, then I would look for prices to possibly come down and test this low. And if we go lower, all the way down to here. So we backed off all of that, really overbought. We're still a little to the high side on the buying, but we're way off that overbought session. We're back inside the green. We're actually between the green and the gold fib lines right there. So quite a bit of room back up here to this one. So we could go either way here still. We'll just have to see where it goes, but be real careful going long into these highs with this congestion here and it being a failed breakout. That's what you have to watch. So even though there was a this is just, like I said, this is mostly a range day, and you can see it on this chart that it just looks like a little doji. Oh, I'm sorry, this bar right here, that's a doji, just showing you it's a 1 bar trading range, and that leads to a 1-day trading range if you go to the intraday chart. And there again, you can see the intraday 2000 tick chart, just sideways stuff, and we closed right in the middle. And that's why we ended up with a doji on the daily. So one other thing I wanted to talk about, somebody felt like I left y'all on a cliffhanger yesterday when I talked about stumbling onto the teaching part, and I don't know if he misunderstood or if I just wasn't real clear in the way I said it. But I didn't really stumble into the trading. I was trading daily charts and stocks long before I got into futures and day trading. So I'd been working on that for a long time. So if you count all my stock trading and trading stocks and swing trading and stuff, I've probably been trading for 30 years now. The day trading's probably been working on it for 20 years or so though. So anyway, what I was talking about yesterday was I kind of stumbled onto the teaching part of it. I really didn't intend for it to ever become what it's become here. It just kind of happened by accident. And I mean, it started off with friends and family wanting me to, explain the price action and what I'm doing. And so, I jotted down some notes, which eventually led to the manual and eventually led to the website and putting it on there. And I never expected it to turn into what it's turned into. And I guess, if you got a good thing going and you're offering something of value, people are going to come. And that kind of explains it. But hopefully those of you that here see value in what I'm offering. And I did this YouTube stuff for free. It's really for people that are for our members and students to just to have a place to come see the daily trades where I see what I see, just so you can compare it to your chart and try to learn as we go along here. That was the originally I did these on paper and sent them out by email when it was started out 10 or 15, and next thing you know it was 25 or 30, and then next thing you know it's 50 or 100, and eventually I said, I might as well start just doing them on videos. It makes it much easier and it's there forever. And so that's how this happened. So it just kind of evolved by non-intent. I didn't intend for it to be what it is. And but I enjoy what I'm doing, so I want to clarify that. I enjoy this, and trading is a lonely profession. And that there's two things. I like helping people. I've always, it's just been kind of a gift of mine is trying to help people. And I like meeting people and helping people and giving back. I believe in giving back. You'll be blessed by giving back. Trust me. Just try it and see if you don't agree with me. But it's my way of giving back. It's my way of getting to interact with other traders and meet new people. So there's a lot of positives in it for me, because otherwise I'd be sitting here doing this lonely trading every day, and I'd probably have more free time, but I'd be doing something else because I'm a workaholic. So free time means nothing to me. It just means more chance to go try to. I'm just one of those kind of people. I'm always up for a challenge. Anything that's challenging, I like to try to teach myself and learn it and see if I can do it. And I mean, I'm really, if you knew me personally, most people know me personally call me a jack of all trades because I know a little. I don't know a lot about anything, but I know a little bit about everything. And it's all, I just taught myself. It's all self-taught because I enjoy learning things and teaching myself stuff and just challenging myself to say, hey, can I do that? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I've got my contractor's license now. I'm a builder. I taught myself how to wire a house. I'm an electrician. I taught myself how to plumb a house. I'm a plumber. I worked in the media field for years and years, so I know a lot about television and TV ratings, and that was a different life really for me. Another life. My life's totally different now than when I worked in corporate America and did that stuff and traveled all over the country and dealt with people. But anyway, I didn't mean to drag this out either, but I wanted to kind of follow up on that. A lot of you ask, and I just wanted to clarify what I mean by stumbling in. It wasn't the trading that I stumbled upon because I had that plan to do all along. It was the teaching part of it that it was not really planned. It just kind of evolved into what it is today. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.